Hello everyone and welcome to a premium sporty SUV with a desirable badge and the one that pretty much over delivers on every aspect, which is this new Porsche Macan GTS. So in today's video we're going to be finding out everything in detail about this sporty SUV. But before we move forward, please consider subscribing to my channel by clicking that red subscription button just like this car, which is a Carmine red, and next to that there is also a notification bell icon, so press that and leave all the notifications on, so that ways you will never miss any video updates from my channel. So let me start off from the front. Now this red color, which is the Carmine red, is an optional extra which you get as a part of the GTS package. So in the front you get this big huge grille out here in this sort of diamond design that has been given at the bottom, and huge inlets for the air to go in. Even on the sides there are bigger vents out here so that it can cool the radiators on the sides, and it continues from one end to the other as well. There's also a radar which is for the adaptive cruise control, and also a camera which has been given, and there is also a vent inside the center grille which opens up as and when there is more requirement for the air. So there's a lot more dynamics which are going on even in the radiator grille. On top there's also a Porsche badging out here, and at the bottom again a red color bumper which has been given. And when you come to these headlights, these are tinted headlights, again optional extra on this GTS package, and these are the Porsche dynamic light system, which is the PDLS, and there's also a Porsche badge inside on the lights itself. On the sides there's also the DRLs, and there is also the turn signals which are given out here at the bottom. But the main headlight cluster is a dynamic headlight cluster, so there's also cornering lights and everything, and it works flawless. It's a crystal clear headlight system and automatically adjusts the beams and everything, and also the high beam and everything. All of that it will do for you on its own. But this Macan GTS looks a lot more sportier in this Carmine red. Now when you compare the Macan GTS with the Macan S and the standard Macan version, then this GTS sits 10 millimeters lower, because this is a lot more sportier, and which is what is quite evident when you see it from the side profile, because it sits a little more lower than the other models as well. And on this GTS you get these optional glossy black 21-inch alloy rims, and inside you would find red color Porsche brakes as well, and those are the steel disc as well. And there are also air suspensions which are given on this one, and those would adjust according to the different driving modes. So if you are in the Sport Plus mode, it would lower the car even further. If you are in the off-road mode, it would raise the height of the car. At the bottom there's this GTS badging and the plain one. Again, this is an optional extra in this color, otherwise it's a black color strip that you get, on which you will find there's no badge actually, but just the black color strip. And then when you come to these side mirrors, these are power foldable, power adjustable side mirrors. They also have the LED lights inside them. There's also one of the cameras from the 360-degree camera system, and there's also the blind spot warning which is mounted on the side of the mirror as well. There's also a black color surround which has been given on these windows as well. And when you come to these door handles, these are smart keyless entry doors. Again, this is a part of an optional extra as well, and all four doors are actually smart keyless entry doors. Also there is the Macan GTS badging on the door sills, which is in carbon fiber. There's also a Porsche light which illuminates the ground from these doors. In the back, again it's just a very smooth sort of design that you get. Actually there are no lines if you observe on the side profile. It's rather more curvier design that you get. And one more thing is there's this line which goes, so this is actually the bonnet that opens up with these cutouts for the headlights as well. So when it opens up, it opens from here, but it's still so nicely merged out here. The panel gaps and everything is on point. And on the top you will find the black color glass which is for your panoramic sunroof, and even in the back you would find the black color spoiler, again which is a part of an optional extra on this Macan GTS. Now whereas the front tires are 265 by 40, the rear tires are 295 by 35, so they are much more broader and slightly slicker on the rear end. Now in the rear you get LED tail light cluster and also an LED light bar that continues from one end to the other, so it makes the rear tail lights look like completely seamless and in like one piece. But the tail lights are completely LED, even the turn signals and everything. And there's also this Porsche badging and Macan GTS badging, which is an optional extra in this black color, but with this red light and this red color it looks really good. You have to really see this car in person in this color, because it looks absolutely amazing. And again the same curvy nature of the car continues even in the back, so there's more roundish out here. And the bumper is again red color, and at the bottom of that you would notice this plastic piece which has been given underneath the bumper. Again, good quality that has been used out here with this diamond design. And at the bottom of that, you would notice on both the sides there are quad exhaust tips, and there's also a button on this exhaust system. It opens up the valves and it opens the exhaust systems to a little more louder. But have a listen to this exhaust system. There is also a fog light which has been given out here just above these exhaust tips. And now when you come to the visibility, it's actually pretty decent, although there are just a couple of thick pillars on both the sides that hamper a little bit of visibility, but I mean it's still alright. So in terms of the boot space, the button to open the boot door is not mounted anywhere here or here, but in fact where you see the rear wiper, there is where the button is. And when you open this up, when the rear seats are folded up, you can put 488 liters of luggage in the back, and it's pretty even that way. The boot space, there's only a bit of a lip out here, and then there are also these cuff plates which are given again in carbon fiber, laminated ones. So these are optional extras, but yeah, make sure to save them and not scratch them with your luggage. There are also tying points which are given in the back. There's also this pocket storage which is given out here, and at the bottom of this you would find a temporary spare wheel which has been given along with the toolkits and everything. And there are also buttons which are given out here on the right side to lower the car. Basically, let me show you. So when I press this button, this actually is right now in the most lowest setting, but yeah, it's still going down if you notice. So yeah, you can lower, if you have a lot of shopping bags, then you can lower the car and then you can put the bags inside. There's also the boot lights which are given out here. There's also boot separator which has been given, and this boot separator can be removed and you can put it down there. It just consumes a little bit of space, but at least there is some space, dedicated one which has been given out here, and it fits in the back as well. Now the rear seats are foldable in a ratio of 40:20:40, but from the back you can only basically turn them into 60:40. So let me do that. You can do it from here also, or you can do it from here. So I'm just gonna do one of the seats and to show you how much space there is. So when you fold down the rear seats, you can put 1503 liters of luggage, and it's slightly sloping upwards a little bit, but it's still smooth, so you can easily put your luggage in and out that way on this Porsche Macan GTS. Now jump into any Porsche and you would immediately notice the sophistication and the craftsmanship, because out here everything is just very well put together, that's for sure. And even the material qualities are just like incredible. Just out here on the dashboard, you get this soft touch material out here with this red stitching here, and even on the door cards there is soft touch material with this stitching here. Again, there are more carbon fiber inserts out here, in here, even on the door cards, on the steering wheel itself. Then there are more even in the back, as I mentioned, in the door seals. These are all part of the optional extra which has been given on this GTS, but it looks pretty good and it makes the car definitely look a lot more sportier. And then you'll find the console out here, and all the buttons are now gone. Instead there are capacitive buttons. Actually, I like this interface because it makes it a lot more cleaner. Before it used to be a lot more complicated with too much of button and information. And then this screen out here, which is your infotainment screen, and then this nice steering wheel which is such a sporty one. But yeah, overall the material quality is rather nicer. At the bottom there is just normal plastic, but even that quality of plastic, even out here, it's very decent, and everywhere there is attention to detail which has been paid for sure. And then you get this clock, and also these paddle shifters which are the metal ones. You hear them everywhere. There is just like qualities. When you come to the driver's display, you get two traditional dials and also one red big dial GTS in the center, which is again an optional extra, but I would recommend you get this one because boy, when you're driving, it's just you would love to see the rev counter in the middle. And on the right side there is a digital screen which shows you a fair bit of information like your fuel, how much you've left on top, which is that, and then in the center there is a screen which you can change using the dial on your steering wheel. So first is your vehicle information, which you can change, like if you want to see your oil measurement, limit settings, all of that. Then you go down, there is the audio option, then your phone option, then there is the navigation, which you can turn from 3D to 2D to whatever view you want to, then whole dial will occupy that. Then there is the navigation where you want to go in, you can set that as well, your destination and input. Then there is the trip information, then there is the tire pressure monitoring system, then there is the all-wheel drive system, then there is also the chrono pack, where so this Macan GTS also comes with the optional chrono pack, which is if you want to lap your car, if you ever take your Macan GTS on a track, then you can lap. The first lap will be recorded and then it will keep measuring how much there is a difference or how fast or slow you are through by measuring that on your screen itself. So that also you can change. Then there is the adaptive cruise control, which is shown, and then we are back to the same menu. So that is pretty much it in terms of the operation of this screen. So it's rather easier just to operate this whole system, and there is not much which is going on. And I love the traditional dials which are given on this GTS, and at the bottom there's also the digital speed which has been given. Now when it comes to the steering wheel, this is a leather covered sporty steering wheel, and boy, it's such a charm to hold this steering wheel for sure, because there's this carbon fiber which is given on top and even at the bottom out here, and Porsche logo which is there in the center. And on the right side you would find the controls for your communication and also the dial to change the information on your driver's display. And on the left side you would find the controls for your media options and all your communication options that have been given out here. And in the back there are these metal paddle shifters. Boy, they are such a quality one, and they have such a good feel to it. They have nice weight to that as well. And there is this drive mode which is given. Now again, that's a part of the sports chrono package. So this dial is to change your different driving modes, which are your sport plus, and the individual and the normal mode. So individual mode you can customize, and there's also a button which is given in the center. It's like a boost button, so when you press that you get a 20-second boost from your turbocharger, so they'll be spooled up, so you get instant torque and power from the word go. So yeah, that's only for 20 seconds because then it gets hot and then it needs to cool down as well. And on the left side you would find the stick for your adaptive cruise control, and the steering wheel is electronically adjustable. The lever for that is given at the bottom, so you can adjust and find the right position for yourself. And when you come to the air conditioning controls, again, all button operated air conditioning system which is given out here, but those buttons are all out here, which were there before like traditional buttons. Now they are all touch capacitive buttons. So out here there is the buttons on both the sides you get for your temperature and also the fan speed on both the sides for the driver and the passenger. So you get tri-zone. Actually it's dual zone, but in the back you can just change the temperature, make it cooler or hotter. That's the only thing, but not the fan speed that you can change. Then there is the sync button and all these buttons which are given out here, and at the bottom you would find the buttons for the flow of air, where you want the flow of air to be. Then there are also buttons for ion. So this also has the optional ion pack, where it will remove all the dust and particulate matter from inside the car and filter the air for you as well. Then you can leave it in auto and everything out here. Then there's also the buttons which are given for your optional heated seat, which are given on this Macan GTS as well. I'm going to come to the other buttons at the bottom later on, but yeah, that's pretty much your entire air conditioning control which is given out here. So again, which is rather nice and easy. It's just clean, but sometimes it's can be a little fingerprint magnet, but yeah, just make sure keep cleaning, that's it. And when you come to this infotainment screen, this is a 10.1 inch infotainment system, and at the first look you would find the infotainment system to be rather just a plain sort of system with not much which is going on, but actually it's quite sorted out that way, and it's got all the options, and it's not colorful, so everything is away from your eye whenever you're driving the car. But on your main screen you would find the options for your personalization, your radio calls, voice control, destination and all of that. Then there is the navigation system. So there's an inbuilt navigation system which has been given. It's decently quick, I would say, a little bit of odd lag here and there, that's about it. But yeah, I mean, you still have the Apple CarPlay, so you won't gonna be connecting your maps and all, but if you can't, then you still have the maps which has been given. Then there are the media options which are given, and inside that you would find the options for your connectivity. So in terms of the connectivity, you can connect to this infotainment system using your Bluetooth. Then there is also the USB using which you can connect, and also there is only Apple CarPlay and no Android Auto which has been given, but there is My Porsche app. So if you put the My Porsche app on your phone if you install it, and then you can use your Android phone using that system, which is your My Porsche app, and then you can connect your phone to this system as well. And then the next option is your phone, where you will find all your phone options, and then there is the detailed cars options, in which you will find your vehicle settings, where lock, light, air conditioning, Porsche, all of that system that you can see here. Then there is the trip information, and then there is the chrono. So again, the chrono is the same pack. If you want to see on your screen, you can see that, record your first lap and then use it as a reference lap that you can do out here. Then there is the My Porsche app, which I mentioned, and you can scroll, and then you will have the sound options, where you can change all the sound systems. So you get optional Bose music system on this Macan GTS, and I suggest you upgrade to that, because again, that sounds fabulous on this GTS. And the next option is your devices. So if you're connected to any remote devices using Bluetooth or anything, then you can check all that here, switch on data, music and phone and everything from here. Then there is the detailed setting option, in which you will find your vehicle settings, display systems, Porsche Connect, navigation, tuner, phone, sport chrono, driver's manual, setup visa, all of that, which is given out here. So that way it's a pretty sorted out system that you get. And even you can adjust the home screen as well. You can configure your home widgets and everything out here. And not just that, there is also a split screen option. So let's say I'm in the media and I want to use the maps out here, so you can do that. You can scroll down, and then you will have your radio option again, then your SIM, like if the car has been connected using a SIM, then that will show out your data, and then you are back into the navigation. If you don't want to use that, then you can just slide it away, and then you can use the entire full screen. And there are also dials which are given at the bottom. There are touch capacitive buttons first, which are given for your track changer, and also dials which are given for your volume and the track changer. And then there are also options where you can directly go in, and then you can change all the options for whichever menu you are inside. So that way, yeah, it takes a little while, but then it's still kind of an easy system to understand. But anyways, you're going to be driving the car and you're going to be enjoying. So this is just, once you set it up, it's just out of your way. Now there are also, as I mentioned, more buttons which are given out here. Now these buttons are the ones that will, configure the car from here. So the first button on my left side is your chassis control button, which has 3 modes, which is your sport plus and the comfort. So you leave it in comfort and your car is in comfort mode. And there is also the ride height button that you can raise or lower the height, then the traction control, and there is also the exhaust button. So when you press that, you can open the valves, and then you will have a little bit of more extra fun as well. Then on the right side, you will have the off-road button. So if you're off-roading the car, if you ever do that, then there is this off-road button, then the hill descent control button, then there is also the lane keep assist button, and the engine start stop button, and the optional extra, which is your park assist. So if you want, you can opt for this package as well. I haven't tried that yet. There's also this nice bit of gear lever, which is given nice chunky, and the quality again to that is just amazing. Like the fit and finish out here is just brilliant. There's also this Macan badging which has been given out here. There are lots of Macan badges on your door sills out here, even in the back, to remind you that you're sitting in this car. Now in order to start the Porsche, you have to just put the keys in here when you enter the car, and then there is this another key which is like a fixed one, so you just turn it and then you can switch on the car from here. Now on this Porsche Macan GTS, you get a panoramic sunroof, and makes the whole car so airy, and especially during the winter season out here, you can just open up and enjoy the pleasant weather which is right now. I don't know if you can notice from around me, yeah, everything is just so colorful, and yeah, you can definitely open and enjoy this one as well. And there are also more buttons which are given on top to control your lights and this panoramic sunroof, and open the roof as well. So all of that you can do from there. Now in terms of the charging or connectivity, you have 2 USB ports type C which are given in this center armrest, and also there is one wireless charger which has been given again in this center armrest. Now in terms of charging, you have 2 USB ports which are given in this center armrest, which are type C ports, and also there's one wireless charger which has been given in the same armrest, and there are also 2 more USB type C ports which are given for the rear passenger. Now when you come to the storage, you can put about 1 to 1.5 liter worth of bottle in the door cards, and some storage on the sides that has been given. There is also this storage which is given out here, where you can put your keys and stuff and then leave it. And then there are also 2 flexible cup holders which are given out here, and there is also this glove box which is decently big enough to put smaller things out here. And even on the passenger side, you can put about 1 to 1.5 liter worth of bottle out there in the door cards, and some more storage on the sides. There is also this handrest which has been given, which is a slidable one, but when you put it in the front, you cover the 2 cup holders, so it's decently big enough to put like your wallets and phones inside, so whenever you're charging you can put them in there. And in the back again, you can put like 1 to 1.5 liter worth of bottle, actually 1.5 liter easily, into the rear door cards. And also there are 2 cup holders which are given in the center armrest for the rear passenger. Now when it comes to these seats, these are proper sporty seats, but also they are pretty comfortable for the sporty seats as well, and they are made of dual materials. So there's leather, and also there is like the Alcantara which has been given in the center and even in the backrest, and there is also the red stitching which has been given. And not just that, you can adjust a lot more in terms of the side support, and also at the bottom the support that you want from your seats, which are electronic seats. I'm going to come to that as well. There is also this red color GTS badging which is given on the headrest as well. But overall the seats, yeah, I fit in quite well on the inside, and again because there's so much of adjustability options, like getting more padded on the sides or at the bottom, then you can find the right fit for your seat as well. Now when you come to the adjustability of these seats, you can adjust 18-way electronically the driver and the passenger seat. And not just that, you can even extend the thigh support underneath again from that seat. So let me do that. So when you extend that, you can have a lot more support underneath your thigh during the longer journeys. So all of that can be adjusted from the driver and the passenger side seat, the buttons which are given on the side. Now in the rear, things are slightly congested, I would say, because as you can see, there is just about enough of knee room for my knees, and also the headroom is just about decent. Someone about 6 feet may start brushing their heads against the ceiling because there's a panoramic sunroof, which is why the sides are a little thicker as well. But overall, in terms of the comfort, the seats are pretty comfortable, but you are sitting quite low down as well, as you can make out from the angle that my knees are making. And in the back also, you get the same leather and the Alcantara combination of seat with the red stitching, and the seats are actually pretty comfortable because they're made out of that Alcantara material, so that's one good thing. And also it wouldn't heat up during the summers, that's more important, so your bottoms are going to be protected as well. And also one more thing which I forgot to mention was there is an optional extra which is given on this GTS, which are these carmine red color seat belts as well for the rear passenger, and also for the front driver and the front passenger as well. So these red color is all matching up with the exterior as well, which is the carmine red color. And in terms of the middle seat as well, there is not much of a hump out here, so there is like a bit of a tunnel out here, that I would say, because this is an all-wheel drive system, so that is why there is a bit of a tunnel. So when I come in the middle, yeah, I can sit out here. Again, this seat is actually quite comfortable, and there is more room, I would say, compared to the either side for some reason, because again there's a panoramic sunroof and this is like a softer material, so you can just lift your head, stretch that thing on top a little bit. So that way, yes, you can do that. And also the handrest is given out here, which are 2 flexible cup holders also, and the handrest on either side can be utilized as well with the cup holders, so that's one good thing. And also you can drop down this seat from here, so if you want to pick anything up from the boot, you can do that as well, or if you want to load longer objects, you can do that as well. And there are 3 headrests which are given out here in the back, and there are also sun visors which are given on either side for that extra bit of privacy out here, so you don't have to put your tints or anything. And again in the back also, the door cards are made out of like pretty plush materials with the red stitching, and then the real carbon fiber laminated one which has been given out here. Alcantara handrest which is covered with, and the switches and everything, the fit and finish is just pretty amazing. There are 2 air conditioning vents which are given out here, and also there is a button which is given out here which is used to adjust the temperature, so you can make it warmer 3 levels, and then you can make it 3 levels cooler as well. So it's still kind of a tri-zone, but not the digital one, but more like manual one. And on top there's also one more dial with which you can adjust the flow of air, and that is the intensity of air that is blowing. And at the bottom you would find 2 USB Type-C ports which are given out here. But yeah, that way it's a little restricted in the back out here, although I'm just about managed to fit here with the cutout in the seats, making it give me a little bit of extra bit of room out here as well. And you cannot slide your legs underneath because the seats are quite padded up that way. So yeah, I'm pretty much sitting upright out here in the back of the Macan GTS. Now let me start this drive by putting this Macan GTS straight into the Sport Plus mode, because it has comfort and all, but yeah, that's not the one we are here for. And then put the chassis in Sport Plus and the car into Sport Plus. Now the air suspensions would lower the car a little bit, I can already see that. And I will put the exhaust, it automatically puts the car in the loudest setting when you put it in the Sport Plus mode, and off we'll go. This thing from the outright, let me tell you that this thing is a riot, absolute fun. I mean, it's just incredible to just get to the terms that this is an SUV that is so fast, so sporty. And it's not just one aspect of like the engine or the gearbox, but in every aspect it's just perfect. I mean accelerate and then and there's also the manual mode that I can go through by pressing a button on the steering wheel. That's how you go into the manual mode. And then there are these paddle shifters, and I missed the gear, but now I am back. This thing eats of speed like anything, and whoa, it's just absolute fun. Now let me come back first, let me explain you everything what's what on this Macan GTS. So this comes with a 2.9 liters V6 engine that produces 434 horsepower and 549 Newton meters of torque. And this thing comes with 7-speed Porsche dual coupling, which is the PDK gearbox. And again, that's just about perfect. Like the gear shifts are crisp. I mean, you know exactly what gear you want to go in. If you know that, you can calculate how quickly you will go in, because that's how quick it is. Like, there you go, like immediately it just takes the gear so quickly. And that's the fun thing about, you know, driving this thing. And now when you come to the engine, this is also a twin turbocharged engine. Now the thing is, it's slightly slower in the response, which is what I find sometimes when you're accelerating initially, just a little bit of lag. And that's the only complaint I have from this gearbox or the engine, in fact. So you see that it's just like the point, yeah, just slight delay, that's it. Apart from that, this thing is just amazing. Like, it's just so much fun to drive. I've just driven pretty much every single time on the Sport Plus mode, because I know it's a hard setup, and I don't mind. I really don't mind, because there are these seats which are so much more comfortable that way, and then you have so much of adjustment. Like, you can make them sporty, you can make them comfortable by making it a little broader. So all of that can be changed from here. Now when we come to the gearbox, as I mentioned, it is a fun one, and it changes gears rapidly, like absolutely rapidly. And I start eating the speeds, and I can actually feel the car go low so much that, you know, it's actually feels like a sports car now. And as I mentioned, it's already 10 millimeters lower than the standard Macan S. So yeah, once it goes down, it's really gonna feel like a sports car. Now when it comes to the suspensions, these are on the firmer side, because what Porsche has done is it has reduced the travel, and which is why it gets a little firmer that way. But what that does is it's got literally no travel. I mean, it's got travel, but it doesn't have that roll or anything. It's so agile, and let me demonstrate you that, because that's the fun bit on this one, because it's not gonna shiver at all when you put that cornering in, that suspension into cornering. So let me do a slalom. Look at this, like, it's so planted, like absolutely. I'm not scared, because I know for a fact that this is an SUV, but I'm still not scared. And that is what this thing is about. It's just perfect. Now when you come to the steering, this is again one more aspect which is just bloody brilliant, because I can actually sense where my wheels are, and I know if I am looking at that direction somewhere on the left side or the right side, this car will exactly go there, because that's how precise this thing is. So that's the beauty of this steering setup as well. So you just go into the corner, get into the right gear, and then turn it. That's it. Whoa. Let me just take a turn from here and show you. And then there are always these crackles and pops which are happening in the exhaust as well, especially if you put it in the Sport Plus mode. Then yes, the steering is pretty precise. The grip is phenomenal on this thing. Like, you cannot go wrong. I mean, you cannot absolutely go wrong with this steering setup. Now when you come to the noise and the vibrations, it's actually pretty well done in here. Of course, it's a Porsche, as I mentioned. It's so well built. The fit and finish is so on point, and the only noise that you will hear is this engine. Oh yes. I can't tell you what speeds you will start doing immediately the moment you accelerate and put your foot on that pedal. It's just the most sportiest SUV I've come across up till now. And also, this thing comes with an all-wheel drive system, which means there's more grip on pretty much every single wheel out here. So it gives you more precision while driving, and also it's pretty clever with the distribution of the power as well. So it really figures out how much power to put when I'm turning in, and exactly, and that's what gives you that exact precise control. And now when you come to the brakes, there are 4-disc brakes on this Porsche Macan GTS, and again, the performance from that is up to the mark. So let me do 100 to 0. Going to 100 is just like nothing. Whoa, there's emergency stop signal as well, and yeah, it just shreds your face and all your body parts that way. But yeah, the braking action is also pretty on point, and I mean, I'm just saying everything. So I mean, you may be wondering, why am I being so nice about this car? But this thing genuinely is so good. You really have to drive this car to understand what this thing is, because it's absolutely flawless in every aspect. I mean, yeah, I mean, at least dynamics and everything that has been going on in here is I don't think there's anything wrong in this. When you come to the safety systems, you get 6 airbags, 2 for the front driver and the passenger, 2 side airbags again for the driver and the passenger, 2 curtain airbags. There's also child ISO fixed points, there's ABS, there's also emergency stop signal, there's tire pressure monitoring system, there is different sort of Porsche safety systems which are given out here. There's lane keep assist, there's adaptive cruise control which has been given, then there's also a 360-degree camera system. The output from that is really good, I would say, and you can select multiple views from that 360-degree camera system, like front, back, and if you want the full screen, you can even switch to that as well. So there are multiple options that you can select on this. The whole thing is that because there are no switches out here, this interface out here, I wasn't sure I would like, because I'm not a huge fan of just touch buttons or anything. But on this one, surprisingly, it's rather easier because it's much more cleaner that way, and you can easily figure out all the buttons and everything out here. So it's much more easier to operate, and also the look it gives is pretty premium that way when you actually look at this thing from the inside. The interior quality is also quite something. Now when you come to the pricing, oops, I was on the wrong gear. Yes. Now when you come to the pricing, sorry about the noise, it's gonna be pretty loud all the time, so sorry, I keep getting distracted. Now when you come to the pricing, the standard Macan GTS without the optional extras, because there are lots of optional extras, so the standard one comes in at 329,000 dirhams, and this Macan GTS with all the optional extras fitted comes in at 406,400 something dirhams. I'm going to be putting the exact price on your screen right now on the bottom, and I'm also going to be putting the exact spec list, whatever the extra optional list that has been put on this car right now. Now once you've seen all the extra bits that have been put on this car, I mean, yes, some of the bits you may like it or not, or it's up to you to spend so much, but the 329 is absolutely worth every penny, I would say. Unless, yes, there is a bit of a space issue in the back, but again, if you're just using it as a performance day-to-day SUV, then it's just gonna be ample. It can go in comfort. Let me put it in the comfort. Now I'm in the normal mode. The chassis again is in the comfort, and then it just becomes quiet, comfortable. There's less bouncing around, there's more cruising quietly. So it can also change nature, and that is what you want. But yes, this is one of the best premium sport SUV that you will find at this price. And it's not just the price, but it's what you pay for this precision, for the refinement, for the quality materials. And then again, it's one of its kind, and I have never seen an SUV that is so perfect in every department, and it just is pretty hard to find flaws in this one. And to be honest, this thing is like a sports car on stilts. It absolutely is, because you need to drive this to understand what I am actually feeling. So make sure to test drive this car. It's I just don't feel like giving this car back, to be honest, because I know there are more Porsches which are better to drive, but then this thing, is just so small and nimble, and that makes it just so much more easier. Plus, anyways, that is pretty much it for this video. Give this video a thumbs up. Thank you for watching this video, and if you want to subscribe to my channel, then you can click here, and if you want to watch more videos, then click here. I shall see you in the next one. Bye bye, take care, and